And welcome to the Barggianos podcast. My name is your Chuck. I am the hostess with the leastest, and with me, as always,
Matt.
Matt, we got a special guest in the studio tonight.
We do.
Not only is the famous commissioner of my own fantasy football league, but he's also my brother-in-law. His name is Joe. Hi, Joe.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Hey, Chuck. Today, you are no longer the hostess of the leastest. You are the hostess of the mostest. And I'm even going to do it Beetlejuice style. Chucky B, Chucky B, Chucky B.
Bingo. I like that. All right. That's right from the get-go. Well, thank you for the compliments early on in the show, JoJo. You're familiar with the show at all?
I mean, I watched it a little bit. My favorite episode is when Matt is in Vegas.
Uh-huh.
You guys are doing the split screen.
Oh. All right. Well, cool. Well, you know how we start the show. Matt, time for a drink. Drinks, boys. Ooh.
Joe's going to need another beer here soon.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, I was told beer would be provided for this show.
Yeah.
We'll get you going here. Well, how's it feel, boys? How's your days going? How's your weeks going? Everything dandy in the life of y'all?
I'm excited, man. Football season is here. Fantasy football season is here. Drafts are taking place. Training camp is going on. That's what we're talking about today, right?
Oh, yeah. Today's special episode is all about football. We're talking football's back, baby. We're talking fantasy football. And we're talking about hanging back and something to freaking finally do.
Yeah.
That is true.
So, I don't know. We got a lot going on this episode. Basically, I want to kind of make this theme to start with kind of little fantasy football more-esque, if you will. So I was going to maybe start off and say, Matt, I know you're part of a league. I was going to maybe ask you what the name of your league is and maybe tell me a little bit about it.
I think the league is just Bauer. Bauer's League. But it's a league I joined 2 years ago. First of all, I like football. I'm good in sports, but I'm not your guy that gets in 10 leagues and pays attention a lot. So, if I misspeak on the show, it's just my opinion. But the league is a super flex league.
Ugh. Oh, boy.
Yeah, super flex.
Tough one.
Yeah, is...
What's that mean? I'm an idiot at all this stuff. I'm brand new, so explain.
So there's 10 teams. A super flex means you can play... in normal leagues, a flex, you can just play running back, wide receiver. Super flex, you can play a quarterback in that flex position, too. So you can play 2 quarterbacks a week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it changes the strategy drastically.
I've noticed that's interesting. Each league is, since it's so different, you can change the dynamics, and it makes it fun. You're not always doing the exact same thing, so a lot of strategy involved.
Yeah, so it's a super flex PPR, which is point per reception, and then points for rushing yards, etc. But it's a quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 receivers, and a super flex position.
Oh, wow.
And I think there is 1 flex position there.
Gotcha. So you guys are, you're flex heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. How big's the bench?
I think last year they did 5.
Oh, that's it. Wow. Short bench.
So short bench, which is crazy because when you draft, you got to pay attention to your bye weeks.
Yes.
Especially in that super flex, because if you got both quarterbacks on a bye, you just count it as a loss.
Yeah, because you can't pick up a quarterback during the year. I mean, if you're lucky, you can, but...
Yeah, you're talking 32 teams in the league. There's at least 20 quarterbacks taken. That leaves 12 and, the bottom 12.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's hard to score, too, in that position because, you pretty much have to play a quarterback there. So, if you don't have a quarterback, then you're really limiting yourself with a running back or a wide receiver.
Yeah, and in my opinion, this year, running backs are slim.
It is true. Yeah. A lot of people out there on the internet, they go 0 RB as their draft strategy. They draft 3 wide receivers right out of the gate, and they take like a RB2 in their RB1 slot, and that's a strategy that they go with. And I'm not really sure if it makes a whole lot of sense doing that because there's such a fall off at that position. It's like once the top guys are gone and there's not that many of them, then you're not left with anybody.
Yeah. And I'm not sure off the top of my head, but how many teams, Joe, do you think have split running backs now? Because that's been a new thing over the past 4 or 5 years where they're split.
Oh, yeah. Look at the Detroit Lions last year with Sonic and Knuckles, Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery. Ben Johnson, the OC for that team, he straight up said, we're going to do split carries, and that's just the way it's going to be. And I think that benefited both of the guys because they were able to stay healthier longer. They took less hits. And ultimately, last year, Montgomery got hurt, and it was the Jahmyr Gibbs show. After that, he really took off and showed, his elite status as a runner. But, yeah, I mean, it seems to be the new trend in the NFL. It just, because that position is just so violent, they take so many hits and they get worn down so fast that you have to have a backup, and why not just split it at that point?
Yeah.
Well, see, I would pass around the room and everybody talk about their own league, but I'm so fancy. I brought the commissioner with me so he can explain our league.
Yeah.
But real fast, before that, this will be my upcoming third year of ever doing fantasy football. So I'm all brand new to this. I am super green and everything, and he's been great. Show me the ropes. But so Joe, you want to explain our rules and teams and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, well, so in our league, if you get last place, there is a punishment involved. I don't know if you've ever seen the show The League. It was on Netflix, I think. But in that show, if you got last place, you had to do something embarrassing to kind of show your spirit of fantasy football. And this past year, the host of this show got last place. So he is in line to do a fantasy football punishment. And he is going to do it on August 23rd between the hours of 12:30 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. by a bar called Halftime. He will be standing out front in a dress with a sign that says, "My fantasy football team sucks. Honk if you want to see me dance."
I just love to dance.
Joe, I heard about this punishment, and I tried to get him to get his hands on the dress before the show so he would have to wear it on the show too.
Whoa, that would be awesome.
I didn't lose no damn fantasy with you, buddy. I think that might be your fantasy to see me in a dress. So
no, I see you in a dress all the time.
This is true. But well, thanks for calling out the date and the location for everybody to come up and see that. That's awesome. I guess this episode won't come out for another 4 months then.
That's great.
Whoops the freaking daisies. But yeah, our league, it's funny. I don't know if it's, again, I'm third year, I'm all new to this, but when I say that we play defense, it blows some people's minds, or we pick defenders, stuff like that. So you want to explain that?
Yeah, our league, so there's no team defenses and there's no team kickers. So we play straight IDP players. So you have to draft individual defensive players. And there's 3 of those spots. So it's just, 3 flexes. You can play any defensive players that you want. So it adds a little bit of strategy into it because now, our bench is 6 players. So now you have to, strategize what you're doing with your bench because you have, think about it as, you have 2 positions, a defense and a kicker. Right. Well, that's like 2 slots on your roster. Well, this is 3 defensive players. So now there's an extra slot in there, and it's a 6 player bench, so it makes it a little bit easier. But like you were talking about with bye weeks and everything, you really have to strategize. What you're doing, who is going to be in there playing, and the position itself is it's dynamic in a sense to where there's like 3 different positions. There's a linebacker, a defensive back, and like an edge rusher, a defensive lineman. So you got to kind of pick players and you got to strategize, based on what kind of points they're going to give you. Now it's tackle heavy in points. So you'll get the most points by having tackles. So you got to think, what players am I going to get the most tackles out of? A defensive lineman will get you a sack and there's going to be points for that. But you're talking 2 sacks a game is really good. I mean, that's only 5 points. If you got a guy getting 10 tackles, that's going to be 15 points. So you got to kind of strategize, who's there, what kind of points am I going to get based on the positions, because if you think about it, you're just picking a team defense in a standard league. Well, that's just everybody, the whole team is getting you points. Now you got to think about what kind of points am I going to get out of this player?
So what do you get, like 1.25 per tackle?
So I think I got it set. I think it's 2 points per tackle and 0.75 points for an assisted tackle.
Okay.
I feel like I explained this exactly the same way he explained it when you asked me what the league was about. I didn't know there was a pigskin related ball involved in the fantasy part of it, but would you agree?
Yeah. And another cool thing about this league is we play 2 games a week. So
we do.
yeah. So, it's just not a one-on-one matchup every week. You're playing against 2 people each week. So you can actually get 2 wins per week. And what it does is it makes the standings move around a lot. Like normally, by week 3 or 4, it's like you're kind of set in, like 3rd or 4th place, and it's kind of, you don't really move around a lot. Like you win 3 games in a row and you're like, yeah, I moved up to 3rd. Well, this league, if you win both of your games and somebody loses both of their games, I mean, the standings change by 2 wins every week. So if you go on like a 3-week win streak where you're winning 6 games, I mean, you could potentially move from like bottom to the top. I mean, just like that overnight. And it really keeps you involved in it, over the course of the season, because like some people, it's like, they're in, kind of last place and they kind of give up and they don't try, because it's like, well, my chances of making the playoffs are kind of slim now. But I really feel like in our league that even if you're in the bottom, you got a chance of pulling yourself out and still making the playoffs.
I agree with that. That was kind of me the first year. I mean, I was contention of first place first year ever playing, and then last year it was just not that. But yeah, like it wasn't like, oh man, I'm completely out of the league and this is stupid. I'm like, I still got a chance, and yeah.
So when do you guys go to the playoffs, and how many teams are you taking?
So this is a 12-man league, and we've gone back and forth on this. It's set right now at the top 7 teams go in, which in my opinion, it's more than half of the league. It's very generous. It was whenever the league first started, the top 4 teams would go. And people kind of bitched about it. I really wanted to make it competitive to where, teams would, have an opportunity to play all season long and still make the playoffs. So that's kind of where it ended up with 7 teams. We do have divisions. So there's 3 divisions. The top 3 teams from each division go. And then there's 3 wildcard spots. So it's the next 3 teams with the best record after that. And then there's always that team that scores the most points out of everybody and doesn't make the playoffs. I know you know what I'm talking about. So to get around that, the 7th seed doesn't have anything to do with your record. It has to do with points.
Okay.
Out of the teams that are left, the team with the highest amount of points gets that 7th seed.
Yeah, I know I've been on the shitty end of that stick where I just run into bad beat week after week, and I'm,
right.
The second top scorer of the week, and probably 50% of my losses come from there, and it's just terrible. It's just bad luck.
Yeah, it is gambling in a sense. I mean, people like to say there's some skill involved, which I believe there is, but just like you said, it's just fantasy football.
I want to say percentage, 50-50. You could be the best picker in the world and they could have the crappiest week. I mean,
it's so true.
You see me just pick random people because, I like their logo. And of course, I like Josh Allen. I'm like, I want to see this guy play. I'm picking, what I tell you the first year, I don't feel like watching 4 football games. I just want to watch 1 football game. So I'll get everybody on the same team. And you're like, probably not the best strategy, but go for it. And I almost won first place. So,
yeah, Chuck, you got like 22 TVs down here. Like, why are you watching 1 game?
It's just time-wise. Yeah.
They all play at the same time, Chuck.
I've been taking classes learning how to dance for my punishment. So,
Holy shit.
Speaking of punishments, I love hearing when you talk about the fantasy leagues of different punishments you've heard of or what you're doing. So what's like the very best punishment that you've ever heard of? Or one of your favorites. It could be anything. Not your league, any league you've seen on the internet. Anything.
I don't know. Guys sitting at a bar for, a bar or like a breakfast joint, to where they got to sit in there 24 hours, and it's usually like an hour off for a drink or a shot. Or if they go to a breakfast joint, it's like an hour off for each pancake they eat. So, that's, I've never been involved in a league where, the loser had a punishment. So probably a good thing for me. Not that I can't remember being last place, but I don't want to be in that position.
Matt's good at everything, so he doesn't accept failure in his life.
Yeah.
How about you, Joe?
Well, in our league, before you joined, the first punishment was the guy that got last place had to be the bathroom attendant at the bar after the draft, and he did it for 2 hours. He did it. He didn't want to, but he did it, and it kind of set the tone for the league ever since. So that year, my friend Brian, his team name is Titties and Beer. He won that year. He picked up Leighton Vander Esch. Remember, we play IDP players. Picked up Vander Esch, and he went on a tear. At the end, it was like 2018, and he ended up winning everything, and Vander Esch was his best player on a team, if you can believe that or not.
Wow.
So the next year at the draft, he started running his mouth, and he says, I'll make you a bet. If you can beat me in the standings, we could play for $100. If I beat you in the standings, then I get 100. If you beat me, then you get 100. And he bet, I don't know, half the league, and half the league took him on too. And he came up to me and he's like, yeah, let's bet. And I was like, no, how about if you lose and you got to do double the bathroom time the next year? You got to be the bathroom attendant for 4 hours. He was like, yeah, I could do that. Yeah. And he shook my hand. Sure enough, he got last place that year. So he owed half the league, I don't know, $100 each. And then he didn't remember, because he was drinking, that he had to do 4 hours in the bathroom. So whenever I reminded him of that, it really it really sunk his sails a little bit.
It's a long time to be a bathroom attendant.
Yeah,
4 hours.
Yeah, so he sat in there for 4 hours. He did it. Yeah, so
I mean, we're always hiring a Barggianos if he ever wants to do some freelance work.
Yeah,
man, you guys should have just fed me some cheese. I would have went in that bathroom and just killed him for 4 hours.
The funny thing about this, was it the same bar we go to?
At Redbirds.
Okay. Redbirds, shout out. But wait, no, that's a different one
we're drafting at halftime.
So halftime. So that bathroom I'm very confused how you'd have a bathroom attendant, because it's from me to the wall would be.
Yeah, it's very small.
Yeah. Matt Hughes, he's a lot lizard, so he's used to these things.
No, I used to go to that place when it was Snibo's.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That's a soccer.
I used to work right by it.
Okay.
Yeah. So did I.
I did not.
Yeah.
Did not.
So I went there for lunch probably once a week.
Huh. That was good. I mean, always cheap food and, not cheap, but affordable food.
Yeah.
And delicious and good drinks. And I mean, I think last year luckily the guy he paid his way out of the punishment and bought the bar tab. So, and then the first year.
How much was that?
$500 is what he paid. That's what he put up, the first 500.
They offered me for that. I'm like, for me, I respect if you're going to pay it. I'm like, I want to do like a fun punishment. Like, to me, that's more of the spirit of it. And I'm a cheap asshole. But the other thing was, the first year, they had penny cups of beer or something, or quarter drafts. It was like 11 in the morning.
It was quarter drafts. That's what it was. So it was like a little beer cup like that tall.
Oh, wow.
And yeah.
And $500?
No, that was the year before. It worked, but it worked out pretty well. I remember, because it's a soccer bar kind of primarily now, so all the games are going on obviously in different countries.
Right.
So you got people in there like 8 a.m. just feeling pretty damn good on the floor. I walk in, I'm like, oh, okay, I got a quarter. I'll go buy me a nice little draft beer.
Yeah. Our guy T-Lane, he gets there at 6 a.m. to watch some soccer games. Yeah, he always tells me to come, but I never go because I don't know, can't do it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I got to stretch out. I'll be stretching and practicing my moves for that kind of thing.
Bring like a tip jar too. You never know.
Hey,
someone might drop some change in your bucket while you're.
I'll get like a QR code so they can Venmo me.
That'd be great too.
Do I get to bring like any kind of like music with me to maybe
can you
dance to?
Can you put the Barggianos QR code on there?
Whatever you make it, I'm doing it. I got enough responsibility, Matthew. I can't do everything for everybody.
We need like a big QR code and a Venmo QR code.
Did you happen to hear our last episode, the big announcement?
I did not.
Well, it just came out yesterday, so we are officially on Cameo.
Whoa! No way.
Yeah.
So
I love Cameo.
Yeah, we're on Cameo.
That's a big shout out right there. So yeah, if anybody like me to do a shout out from a dress dancing on the side of the road next to a bar, next to a fantasy thing with my brother-in-law and my chief commander cheer me on, I'm your man.
That's great. I wish this was a Cameo show because I actually buy Cameos fairly often, at least once a year. Buy it for my golf league as like a hype video for a tournament we play in.
Well, I got some good news for you, Joe. If you can afford a can of tuna, maybe a thing of peanuts, like a real small bag, you could get 2 of ours.
Nice.
I think it's set at $15.
We're very affordable. We didn't let the tariffs affect us. We just went for it, and we're here for the people.
And we'll release the bloopers every once in a while. Chuck and I struggled taping our cameo video. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to put the one out about. I'll let that one go.
Yeah,
about doing favors.
Yeah.
So what I was saying about the punishments was my favorite of all time before I even got into a league, and this was like a video I seen on the intrawebs, was a guy had to go last place. It looked like almost like a Red Robin's type of restaurant. He went in there, sat down, and with him he had his date, and his date was a blow up doll. And he's sitting there, everyone's looking at him and like, what's going on? And then they show the next clip. His wife walks in with this like 2-year-old kid that can barely walk, and she takes his drink and throws it in his face and slaps him and leaves. And he just has to sit there and do it. And I'm like, that's like a punishment is that. Again, if you want to pay, that's cool, but I think it's funny. Like let's think of some crazy stuff there. So yeah, I don't know. There's 100 of those things I've heard, but those were definitely my favorite.
Joe, maybe the winner should pick out the loser's punishment.
Well, we talked about that the winner of the league like calls these shots, says when we're going to draft, where we're going to draft, takes care of the last place punishment. But the guys that play in this league, and I hope they listen and they hear what I'm saying here, you guys are lame, all right? You guys don't do anything. You don't answer texts. You don't set up what you're supposed to set up, So me and Glenn, he's a guy, he plays in our division. We're the ones that are like facilitating this punishment now. So
I guess we're a little bit older, but to be fair, and I'm not defending everybody, but like any league you're in with guys is awful. Our bowling league, I love every one of these guys to death, and I'm not being a hypocrite. I'm horrible too. Nobody answers text. Yeah. It's like we need one answer, like, hey, what do you prefer to breathe? And it's like air. And it's like I don't know. I can't think right now.
Ask Chuck how many times he's filled out that bowling paperwork.
Ugh. 0.
Oh, I don't want to talk about anything. Don't get me started. I went bowling last night.
You did it once, right? You filled out that paperwork once.
I'm not going to bore everybody. It was for state tournaments, and then it was my turn, which is fine. And oh my God, it was trying to like pull teeth. It was like I was asking people for their social security numbers and what was their grandkid's favorite cartoon. They couldn't give me anything. I'm like, this isn't super hard stuff. But so shout out to Tony. Tony does that very often. So much respect.
Yeah.
Much respect. So, boys, I got some fun here. So, again, all this episode is all about football. So, grunting, balls in Matt's face, anything you can think about with football. Is that okay. So, I got a fun little thing I looked up is this year for the 2025 season, I thought it'd be fun to look at a few upcoming rule changes to the league. So, I'm going to ask you guys if this gets boring or if I'm talking... If this is interesting, tell me, because I don't know. You guys are the football experts. I'm not.
Well, talk about the fun one, the kicking ball.
Why don't you start? Why don't you kick it? Why don't you kick it off, Joe?
Whoa. Well, so, preseason action is in full force here, and it just so happens in the first preseason game of the first week, we had a 70-yard field goal kicked. Oh, and on top of that, there was the 3-punt average broke. That's if you're not familiar with punts. So if you kick 3 times in a game, they average out your yards. And, the all-time record of that was broken. So, what they're doing now is they're allowing these kickers to, like, wear their ball in. Because before it was 2 hours before the game, I'm making this up, they are handed 8 balls, and those are their balls. They get to kick with them, during the
You wear your
pregame.
balls in too, don't you?
And
my wife's got them.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. Well, so no, these balls are super slick, and they're not very.
When you say wear them in, what do you mean like kind of like their favorite part of it? Like, that one feels good. That suits my kicking style, or is it do something specific like deflate it or make it harder?
They're just allowed to wear them in. I think they take like a heat gun to them.
Really?
They take sandpaper to them.
Wow.
I don't know this for sure, but this is just what I have in my head. But they're able to in a day wear the ball out so it's not so slick and smooth and actually has some feel behind it.
Okay, so it's about how slick it is kicking off your actual foot. Yeah. So it's more.
Think about when you were a kid and you got a fresh football for Christmas and you blew that thing up and that thing is hard as a rock, man. It's not worn in. You got to kick that.
I got you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But so now they're able to wear them in, maybe get them a little soft. I wish I was a kicker and I knew all the ins and outs of all this stuff. But all I know is there, you're a soccer player. Yeah, maybe you can speak on this.
I mean, guy soccer players like the hard balls, like blown up all the way. But I think, the best comparison is like a baseball glove or a football. Like after you use it for 15 years, like I love 15-year-old footballs. Like they're sticky. They're just, broken in. It's a pair of shoes, a glove. Like it's just more broken in and it's easier to play with. No pun intended. Twice.
I won't say it.
Your balls aren't smooth anymore.
Yeah. Matt prefers a broken in ball.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start off here as we finished with the kicking?
Well, I just, a 70-yard field goal,
70-yard.
like right off the gate, who knows what's going to happen during the season once they get this dialed in. I'm kind of excited for it.
Yeah, I think it's going to make it definitely a little bit more interesting. And I think that's what they're trying to do. A lot of these, the 2025 rules upcoming, that's what they're doing. So first one we got was number one, and I'm going to go through kind of quickly, is number one is throwbacks or move back the 35-yard line. What changed was starting in 2025. It's
touchbacks.
What did I say? I'm sorry, touchbacks. Thank you. I'm me good football at it. If if kickoff results in a touchback, the receiving team will begin their drive from the 35-yard line up from the previous spot at the 30th. Why does this matter? You want to know why it matters?
Tell me.
Well, Joe, that's a good question. It matters because why it matters is expected to significantly increase the kickoff return plays. League data projects 65% to 75% more return rate.
Oh, wow. That's cool. You know what I hear whenever you're starting at the 35-yard line? 2 first downs and you're in scoring territory now.
Ooh.
2 first downs now. That's all it takes, and you're on the other side of the field.
But that's fun, right? I mean, it's...
Yeah, I mean, if I was a team now, because... if you kick it out of bounds on a kickoff, it goes at the 40, right?
Chuck?
I think it's the 40.
I think it is the 40.
I blacked out. What happened?
Yeah, so I think it's the 40. So, if you're a team strategizing now, they're going to try to hit the corners now and not let someone just run downfield straight up the middle. And if it goes out, it's 5-yard difference, right? If it goes out of bounds or if it's a touchback or if I can, put it there close to the 1-yard line, and make them receive it and run it back.
Well, it said, I guess, at the Hall of Fame game this year, 8 of the 9 kickoffs resulted in returns. So there you go. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it's definitely what the NFL has been missing. Think about back in the early 2000s with the 99 Rams and, Aeneas Williams with, the 5 return touchdowns. I mean, the whole league was doing that. We had the best guy on the Rams. But, I mean, just think that play is gone. I mean, it has been gone, and they're trying to bring it back.
Because I think, a touchback back then was 20-yard line.
Yeah.
And, so you try to run it out,
And he kicked off from the 25, I think.
Yeah.
So you really had to smack it good. Kickers probably weren't as good back then either.
Right. And now with the worn-in balls.
Yeah, no kidding.
Speaking of kickoffs, the other rule is on the onside kicks are allowed at any time if a team is trailing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of, I don't know. In my opinion, I think it would be cool if you didn't have to declare you were doing an onside kick, because it's like, hey, I'm doing an onside kick, so now you get to prepare.
Yeah,
you
I
get
agree.
to counter that play. Before it was like you could throw it out there as a surprise.
Yeah, do it the old school way to me, like surprise. Like that's part of the game. Like nobody's going to say like, hey, I'm going into shotgun and I'm throwing a Hail Mary. Like nobody does that. So why are you going to announce like, hey, I'm doing an onside kick?
Yeah, and if both teams can do it, it's not like it's disadvantaging somebody. That means, hey, I got to pay attention.
Right.
Why not? And again, you could be sitting there about to get up to take a leak, and all of a sudden, oh man, they're doing the onside kick, and run back in there and get pee on the carpet. So. It got weird. Number 3, coming at you. First downs are going to be now measured electronically via Hawkeye. What changes? The NFL is introducing the Sony Hawkeye Virtual Measurement System as its primary tool to determine first downs.
I don't think they're doing that on all of them, though. They were testing it, and the problem I find with the Hawkeye still is that the referee is still placing the ball. To me, I think the first move would be use Hawkeye Vision for ball placement. and use the chain gang.
Again, this is primary, but the chain's still going to be there, but it's primary.
Yeah. I mean, but if you watched any preseason game, I think one time, because it's supposed to also show on the stadium, I think one time it took like 6 minutes to measure with the Hawkeye, where the chain gang could have been out there, measured, got off, and ran another play. Like, I don't think it's good enough right now to implement in normal games.
I think that they're probably trying to make it quicker, which you said it's not, but also they're saying people in the stadium, and then if you're watching on TV, it's going to be like you can't necessarily yell at the ref or as much, so that's probably what they're going for, but what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes into baseball with the automatic balls and strikes type of thing. I mean, it's going to be, if that is implemented, and I mean, that's a big change, it's going to take some getting used to.
Well, speaking of things on TV, number 4 is expanded replay assists for objective penalty calls. So what's changing is the replay booth can now reverse certain objective penalties calls, including defenseless player hits, face mask, horse collar tackles, tripping, and roughing running into the kicker, but only if the penalty was flagged on the field and is cleared by the base of video. So I goes again, I'm stupid at all this stuff. So is that more like someone's equally...
Well, it's like, think about you're watching a game and you get called for a face mask penalty and it's on your team. And then they do the replay and it's like, he didn't touch the face mask, and it just kind of, you're watching on TV, it kind of pisses you off, now your team's got to give up 10 yards. And so I think they're trying to get rid of that, kind of make it to where it's obvious for the viewer that it wasn't a call, or maybe it was a call. And just trying to, soften the blow a little bit, I think.
You think that's going to help when it gets more like the playoff time, and, are people going to like that or not like that, in the sense of, because, people are like, hey, like baseball, let's leave it to the umpires. We don't need all this stuff. But you're also taking away that naturalness of the game.
Yeah, it kind of, I mean, I could see it both ways, where you're giving a lot of power to the officiating crew. And I know this isn't for this show, but, officiating crews in the NFL have been accused of pushing the games in certain ways, for a more favorable outcome of what the league wants. I'm not going to say the R word, because if you're on YouTube, they will ban you for it. But
Rocky Road ice cream?
I think the word I'm talking about here. So there is that aspect of the officiating crew manipulating the game for a desired outcome.
Okay.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think it would be better to put it in the coach's hands. You only have one way, and that's a reversal. So you're not taking into an account a call the referee may have missed and said, oh, it's going to the booth, there was a face mask and it should be a 15-yard penalty. Only times where, they flagged it. So, you're either A, going to see more flags because they're going to say, hey, if when in doubt, throw the flag, and then they'll overturn it up top. I would rather see an additional challenge given to the coach. And if he wins 2 of the 3 challenges, you give him an extra 4th. If you're going to go into penalties, or, give him one special flag. Hell, make it a green flag. I don't care. Give him a green flag for a penalty. And then if he throws the flag for a penalty, then, let him have that. But I don't think it's right to just, hey, the referee flagged something, and now I'm going up top, when the referee could, in fact, because they're human, miss something, and, you can't go back and reverse that.
Okay. I guess kind of a big one is the regular season overtime is being revised. What changes is the regular season overtime rules now replicate the postseason model. Both teams are guaranteed at least one possession, regardless of whatever the first drive ends in a touchdown. However, the overtime period is shortened for 10 minutes. Postseason will still remain at 15 minutes. Why does that matter? Because it is going to enhance the fairness and suspense. No more quick game-ending kick touchdowns, which I agree with, and it is going to keep games from dragging on too long. And it says it's a perfect mix of the drama and the pacing. But I like that rule.
So
it gives everybody a chance, don't it?
So it says each team gets 2 possessions, or 1 possession. But what happens if the first possession they possess the ball for 9 minutes and then kick a field goal?
Yeah, that's a good point there. Yeah,
that's why I'm asking you. I don't know anything about it.
I mean, drives, are going a lot. They're kind of quick. Nowadays it's not like the early '90s with Joe Montana, and he spends the whole first quarter going down the field.
But in overtime, they're going to strategize different, like run the ball, try to get the first down, run the 30-second clock or whatever it is. Why not try to kill the time, especially if you're, within 30 yards, you got a touchdown. Try to go, run the clock down as much as you can. And heck, I know there's 2-minute drills. They move down the field at a quick pace, but I think the shortened time does a little bit of justice, but I think it's a little bit offsetting.
I think two things. I think it's kind of good because, number one, how many times have you watched a game and then you're like, man, that sucks. The whole game, you didn't get a chance to watch it. People bitch about that now. And number two, it's going to add strategy going in, something new that no one's ever, I'm not saying no one's ever seen, but again, just like the kickoff rule, it's going to add something, a new little flavor to the game and make it more interesting to watch.
I'd rather see it blended like college. So college starts at a certain yard line and they go, but I'd rather see one possession, no time, and whatever happens, there happens.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
So last one on my famous list here is, this is kind of a dumb one, but I can't believe they made this a rule. This one is the bow and arrow celebration is legalized, if you can believe that. What changed is the now iconic bow and arrow touchdown gesture is officially permitted starting in 2025. Players will not be fined as long as the gesture is not directed at an opponent. The NFL still reserves the right to penalize violent or weapon-like celebrations, example, mimicking a gun or knife.
Odell Beckham Jr. would be pissed right now because he was the guy that got flagged for the bow and arrow originally, like 2017 or something. And I remember I was watching that game too. It was so funny because the ref got up and says, unsportsmanlike conduct, shooting a bow and arrow. He just straight up said that.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Oh, that's great. I remember, did you guys remember when the Rams back in, was it the 2000s when they did the bob and weave?
Oh, yeah.
Remember, they got called for that. That was a big... That was, for me, I was just getting into watching football because I was late to the game, but that was the first time, and I'm like, I feel like that was the first time that the NFL really was like, nope, celebrating too much, can't do it. And shout out to my buddy Greg. We used to do in high school, we did, instead of the bob and weave, we did the bob and drink. So we'd get two beers in our hands and go back and forth.
Yeah.
And shout out to you, buddy. Little bob and drink, but,
Yeah, good times there.
So Joe, without giving out too much information, are you guys are a keeper league too, right?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we are.
All right, so we're a non-keeper league, and this will air prior to your draft. So without giving out too much information, what position are you targeting your first round?
Well, so I'm playing in some redraft leagues, so I could tell you my strategy. It's fine. I really prefer going running back heavy right out of the gate. It's the old school way of doing things. Now, you're going to get a lot of backlash from people whenever you say that because wide receiver is so popular nowadays, and there's a lot of them, and it's like a boom or bust type of thing where, wide receivers can score tons of points for you, and one wide receiver having a great game can win the week. But you're not getting consistent points like you can with a running back. And that's really my bread and butter strategy, is to essentially go zero wide receiver.
Yeah.
and he loves bread and butter, so I believe that.
So, yeah, that would be, I mean, I would have a similar strategy if I played in a league like that. But with a super flex, I got to go quarterback heavy.
Yeah, that's totally different. Your draft strategy is like you have to take 2 quarterbacks with your first 3 picks.
Yeah, I'm pick 7. So I will probably go, which means, I'm 7 and then 10, 11, 12, 13, like 13, 7 and 13 for the snake draft, something like that, 7 and 14. I don't know. But I'll probably go 2 quarterbacks, pending, what everybody else takes their first round. I see a lot of people taking Josh Allen round 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
It'll go Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, the first 3 picks guaranteed. If you can, I could give you some advice or just some advice in general. Whenever you're drafting those types of leagues, don't sleep on the first draft pick being a position player. If Bijan Robinson is available or Jahmyr Gibbs is available with your first pick, you can get 2 quarterbacks with your second and third pick. And so don't feel like you have to take a quarterback if there's 2 good players there.
Because I'll be round 21, 20... I'll be picked 21 and then 24 or something, 25. So I can still, with my first, I get 4 picks in I don't know, 25 out of the top 25. So I should be able to build a strong foundation. Now, however, I do have plans the night of my draft that I may have to auto draft, so the strategy may go out the window. Which,
oh boy,
why they would schedule a draft on a Tuesday night at 6:30 is beyond me.
Yeah, I've got a draft on a Monday. I've got one on a Tuesday. Yeah, shout out to my guy AB Jr. at Flawless Fantasy Football. That's my Tuesday night draft in September.
Yeah. I don't mind the weeknight, but not at 6:30. Like, give me a 9 o'clock, give me a 9:30. Give me something. But that's just too early for me.
I got my obviously I'm last, so I got first pick this year. This is the only third league I've ever been in. So I've been going back and forth, and I got it kind of down to 3 people.
Who are you keeping though?
I got my boy Josh Allen. He's my favorite. I got Stephon Diggs and
James Conner.
Yeah, James Conner.
Yeah.
I didn't have my team was not great at all. So
James Conner is your third. Like, that's your third best player to keep.
Yeah, he didn't have a whole lot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's why I'm going to be in a dress. So, yeah, it didn't do too well.
James Conner, he should be retired.
Well, he gets hurt a lot. I was either between keeping him. Do you remember who I had? I said
those are pretty much your only guys.
There wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Shakir off of the Bills.
He's hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like him a lot. I just didn't
he's not the number 1 there anyway. So
and that's the thing. Last year I wasn't getting any points off him. And then also, I joke about wanting to watch one game, but I already got Allen, so I was trying to diversify my funds, if you will. So I got a few picks. It should be fun this year. I'm knowing a little bit more, which is nice because, like you said, it's hard to get into it at first, and now I'm recognizing some more of the names, that kind of stuff. So anyway, so I was going to ask everybody, what is your upcoming pick? Who's going to win it all? Joe.
Super Bowl pick, huh? Well, we saw the Chiefs the past 3 years. We saw the Eagles 2 out of the 3 years. We had the Bengals thrown in there, and am I missing a team? I don't think so. It's I'm not saying the NFL favors certain outcomes or anything here, but it sure does seem like certain teams make it to the Super Bowl. The highly desired teams make it to the Super Bowl. So it just makes me think, that there may be a change in order, that we're going to see some new teams make it to the Super Bowl this year. I'm going to say that it's time for Lamar Jackson he's been paying his dues. I'm going to say It's time for the Ravens. They're going to step up. They're going to beat the Bills in the AFC Conference Championships and go to the Super Bowl. The NFC, people are saying that the Lions are, they're going to be a 500 team this year. They got the hardest schedule in the league, and they're playing in a really tough division. And but I still really like the Lions. I'm going to say that, just them being my favorite team, I'm going to say they're going to go to the Super Bowl too, and who's going to win that is anybody's guess.
Man, I tell you, Dan Campbell deserves it. I mean, Lions fan, like it sucks. Like, I'm an Eagles fan, so I lived through it for a long, long time. And the Lions had some major meltdowns in pressure, and it's disappointing. Dan Campbell, he's a wild card. I love the guy, but he's the kind of coach that's if you're 4th and 1, he'll go for it, and it's either like, fuck that coach, he don't know what he's doing, or it's like, if they make it, fuck yeah, that coach is great. Like, it's either or.
He's a genius.
So who's your pick? Who's winning it all for the 2025 year?
I will say the Eagles didn't lose much.
Yeah.
But I won't say they're that strong defensively. They still need some help. So a little bit of luck last year. I'd like to see the Eagles go again, but Detroit, New England, they can play each other, right? Yeah.
Yeah. You got Drake
Detroit.
May over there.
Yeah, Detroit, New England. It'd be a stretch for New England to go, but I think.
I don't know. I mean, I could talk good about him. You got Drake May, who is, baby Josh Allen. Josh. I've heard it said that he like a lot of people watch him play in his first year, and he reminded them of Josh Allen in his first year. And the team actually did a lot to strengthen the club. They drafted 2 offensive linemen. They've got Travion Henderson. I think they drafted in the 4th round. But anyway, I watched his tape. He's a running back, and he's a great pass blocker. And I really think he's going to help that offense a lot. They picked up, I think Stephon Diggs is there. That's where your boy is. Stephon Diggs, one of your keepers. And they got Kyle Williams. He was their first-round draft pick. He's a wide receiver. So offense is definitely going to be improved this year, I think. I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Patriots.
All right.
Okay. Me? Are the Rockford Peaches still in the league?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going for them. I'm going for Dottie.
Oilers.
Of course, I'm going for my Bills. Got Bills Mafia over here. I finally got me a team to root for, and this went back and forth about Allen and trades and giving up. But again, we are a 3-year keeper league, and I feel like I'd have buyer's remorse. And when it comes to me, it comes down to the end of the day. It's about not just because, but it's about the fun of watching it.
You can't let him go. He's like top 3 pick in just regular leagues.
That's why I got my Allen jersey on right now. So plus I bought a jersey, so I can't I can't take it back to Kmart. They're not open anymore.
My dark horse. If I had to pick like one dark horse, it'd be the Arizona Cardinals.
Ooh. What about Vegas? It's surprising everybody.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
They're like my second team.
I'm gonna throw that out there. I'm gonna throw that. It's before the season started. Your hostess with the least is here, or the hostess with the most is tonight.
Thank you.
He's gonna call the Vegas. What they call the Raiders now? Vegas Raiders.
Right? I'd love it.
Las Vegas Raiders. Remember that. It's gonna be right here. You know what we could have done? We could have made like a bet. We should all pick a team right now, and someone go out and make a.
I'm not standing on a corner dancing in a dress.
No, I mean like go out and go to like a casino or bookie or somebody, whoever gets.
You can't
bets.
go to a casino in Missouri and do that.
We can drive away, can't you?
Soon.
Illinois.
We're Missouri? I didn't know that.
Illinois.
Interesting.
Soon, I think in December you're going to be able to.
When is that? Yeah, they legalized it like 19 years ago on the ballot, but you still can't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Drive across.
It's the committee. It's the Missouri Gambling Committee had it on lockdown.
Gaming Commission.
Yeah.
That should be fun, though. I'm looking forward to that.
Something about applying for licenses and stuff like that. No later than December, they say. Last I saw in the news a couple months ago. But
you gonna open? Or you think we should open like a betting thing down here? We can get some furniture. You can be my doorman.
Yeah.
I just want some Keno down here, but apparently you can't do it. I looked into it.
Keno.
Yeah, they frown upon that, Joe.
Missouri Lottery Keno.
Yeah, they frown upon that. Well, boys, I think we did it all. I mean, I'm pumped. I am excited. Thank you so much for coming on, Joe.
Anytime, guys. Anytime you want to talk football, I'm your guy.
Long time coming. Anything else, Matt? I'm forgetting for this football?
No, maybe we'll have a mid-season update on like who's doing well, who's not.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about teams and but been a great episode. I hope the audience liked it. But once again. You almost forgot.
I almost
Chucky
did.
Chucky me.
Balls.
Yeah, so make sure if you like what you're hearing, you subscribe. We're on all the socials, and I'm going to take Chucky I'm not going to say it as good as him, but on YouTube, we're in like super 4K until we get the new iPhones. We'll be in 8K, just so it takes like 8 hours to download for Chuck. So right here, like and subscribe. We just got enough subscribers on YouTube to go live.
Whoa.
We are live on Betamax now too. Can't believe it. Yeah. Laserdisc.
And by the way, we're still stretching to hit that 100 likes so I can get a shirt. So please subscribe on YouTube. Not likes. Subscribe on YouTube. I need a Barggianos shirt.
I'm going to get, if we get to 100 likes there on the old YouTube there, man, I thought of something. I'm not just going to get you a normal Barggianos shirt. It's going to say something really stupid on there. And you're going to get to wear it on the episode.
I love it.
So it's going to go pretty good there. We're also going to give one away to the audience without the stupid shit on there, just the normal stuff. But Joe, what should they do, Joe?
I don't know. What?
Like and subscribe.
Oh, sorry. I'm new to all this here. Like, comment, and subscribe for your boy.
There you go. I like it all.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, buddy, thanks again for coming on. Been a pleasure. It won't be the last time you've seen some JoJo. And with that, Barggianos out.
I need another beer.